Hello everyone! Welcome to Messy Heart, where we dive deep into troubling accounts and messy relationships, hoping to provide support and advice to those who might seek it. Let's head into our first story. Listen carefully and give us your thoughts on the comments section. Story 1. My relationship is hanging on by a hair because I don't know how to de-escalate. How do I get better at de-escalating situations? So, I, 21M, am dating my GF, 20F, for 4 years now. Recently, we have been going at it, and it seems like she is really about to be done with me. Last weekend, we got into an argument because she wanted to show me her clothes, and I decided to instead talk about her financial position. I honestly think I am projecting as I am in debt, and she is not. She just owes me some money, and I should trust that she makes good financial decisions. But anyways, that starts a whole argument, and she tells me she wants us to be done after I continue to argue about financials when all she wanted to do was show me her clothes. Please note we agreed for her to pay me back in November when she also sends me the money for the vacation that we are supposed to be going on in December. So that was handled, yet I still escalate the situation by bringing it up. Anyways, the day after I sent her a whole message about how I regret the situation and will do anything to make up for it. A week goes by and she calls me on Saturday. We link up and hang out to talk about how much I reflected on my actions and would do better, as this has been a problem I have had for a while. Everything is then good again. We hang out Saturday and Sunday and then go back to the weekdays. We don't see each other on the weekdays. Now I take melatonin to go to sleep easier, as I tend to have sleeping issues. Last night I took some and told her good night around 8:30 p.m. I wake up to a FaceTime call around 10 p.m. because she wanted to show me her clothes. I pick up the phone and then everything was good from there. However, as she is changing clothes, I close my one open eye to avoid the bright screen so I don't fully wake up. Eventually that catches up to me as she put on something to show me and did a couple of poses and then asked in frustration, "Are you looking?" I instantly say yes, even though I was not. That is when she got frustrated and said it's okay and hung up. After that, I start to spam her saying it's her fault for calling me when I said goodnight and can't blame me for trying to keep my sleepiness. She told me she understands that I was trying to keep my sleepiness but would appreciate if she could get my full attention for 5 minutes as she shows me her new clothes real quick. I then get even more defensive and tell her that the first thing I did was acknowledge her feelings and she doesn't care about my goals, and keep going at it about how it's her fault, and the situation just keeps getting more heating until eventually she is like, why does she even try? She then says that this is probably a sign we shouldn't be together, as she continuously gives me chances but I keep fumbling. So then the convo is over and I go to sleep. I then wake up full of regret and look at the messages sent. I realize that not once did I acknowledge my faults or even apologize for making her feel stupid about showing me her clothes, and I am not even paying attention. So my question is, in the heat of the moment, how do I get better at de-escalating situations? I notice that when I am annoyed or my emotions are heightened, I go on defense mode, failing to acknowledge how I messed up and how she feels. She tells me she feels like she isn't the one for me, and if it was a woman I actually wanted, I would be more gentle and care more about the relationship. However, I know that is not the case, and I could be with any woman and still fumble because I fail to recognize where I went wrong in the heat of the moment. Only afterwards would I realize how I messed up. Please help. I really want to win her back and be good. My family absolutely loves her. I love her. She is my best friend. But I keep messing up on this topic. Thanks. What piece of advice would you give to OP? Let us know down in the comments, and let's move on to our next story. Story 2. My girlfriend victim blamed me when I got attacked on a night out. On Saturday, I went out for drinks with a friend that I had not seen in a while. We went to a few bars, then ended up in a small nightclub. Club wasn't really busy. I went to the bar to get a drink, and there was a woman stood waiting. I asked her if she was being served already, and she said she was. She then said she likes the tattoo I had on my arm, so I said thanks and asked if she had any tattoos. A guy came over and started arguing with me for talking to his girlfriend. I told him I only asked her a question and that he should drop it. He ended up punching me, which left a bruise on my cheek. He got kicked out immediately, and the woman apologized for him. I went home then. The following morning, my girlfriend mentioned the bruise on my face, and I told her what happened. She then started asking how close I was to this woman and why I was talking to her. I just explained it was just small talk while waiting to be served, but she just said I shouldn't have been talking to her. I got angry at this and pointed out she was blaming me for the guy assaulting me, which she denied, but just said again I shouldn't have spoke to the woman and wouldn't have been punched if I didn't talk to her, and I got angry and pointed out she was victim blaming me as I had done absolutely nothing wrong, but she said I shouldn't be having a go at her. How would you handle this? Share your thoughts with us and let's move on to our next story. Story 3. I finally left my boyfriend after years of trying to hold on to the good parts of our relationship. Did I do the right thing? How do I stop feeling guilty for leaving, and how do I start moving forward? Now I'm not sure if I did the right thing and I need advice. First, everything was perfect. He was sweet, attentive, and made me feel like I was the center of his world. But after a few months, things changed. He'd get angry over little things, like if I didn't text back fast enough or wanted to hang out with my friends. Started with yelling and slamming doors, but then came the pushing, grabbing, and eventually hitting. I stayed because I kept thinking it was my fault, or that he'd go back to the person he was when we first met. He'd always apologize after, telling me how much he loved me, and I wanted to believe him. But then it would happen again and again. The breaking point was a few weeks ago. We had an argument because I wanted to spend time with my sister, and he got furious. He threw a glass against the wall, then turned on me. The bruise on my arm hasn't faded yet, but that was the last time. I ran out, went to my sister's place, and finally told her everything. Now I'm staying with her and trying to rebuild my life, but I keep second-guessing myself. It's hard. Sometimes I feel like I should have left sooner, like I wasted so much time, or that maybe I could have done more to help him. Did I do the right thing? How do I stop feeling guilty for leaving, and how do I start moving forward? Any advice would mean a lot right now. Share your thoughts on the story as we dive into our next story. Story 4. Caught my boyfriend of 10 years cheating. IF 26 caught my boyfriend, I'm 25, cheating on me today. Like literally this morning, so I'm going to angry post here cause why not? I had work this morning and I wasn't feeling well and didn't get much sleep, but I still had to go to work. So I kiss my boyfriend goodbye and go to work. I'm there for maybe 2 hours and I'm still not feeling good and notice I have a small fever. My manager says I can go home early and get some rest. Normally I would just push through the day and not leave, but I'm supposed to work overtime this week, so I decide to take up the offer and leave early. I text my boyfriend and let him know I'm coming home, but he sleeps during the day, so he never saw the message. I get home and the first thing I see right in front of the door are shoes that aren't mine or his, but are clearly another woman's. I instantly know what this means and my heart drops. I couldn't hear anything from my living room, so I try to call my boyfriend to let him know I'm home, and I see these shoes on the floor, but of course he does not answer. I did this to try to avoid having to see them together. Takes me a minute, but I build up the courage to go into my room to confront him. They are both laying in my bed completely naked and sleeping. I mean, this shit is literally out of a goddamn movie. I wake him up and he's not saying anything, moving, or doing anything, he's just laying there. I say to the naked girl in my bed, I don't know who you are, but can you please leave? And then I step out of the room to let her get dressed. As she's leaving, she apologizes to me, and I tell her she doesn't have to apologize because at the end of the day, she's not really in the wrong and owes me nothing. I confront my boyfriend and he's just speechless. I force him to talk to me and give me answers cause WTF? He says it's been going on for the past 2 months, and the reasoning is because we only had sex once or twice a week and that wasn't enough for him. He then tried to lie to me and say they didn't do anything, and at this point I'm screaming because how dumb do you think I am? They were both literally but naked. I tell him it's over and I just say everything that I'm feeling and express my disbelief. Our 10-year anniversary was in 2 weeks and I'm glad I found out before then, but I hate how I had to find out. We spent so many years together and have lived together for years, and he couldn't do me the favor of just leaving me? And what's crazy is I've had a feeling for a little bit now that he was cheating on me. People say you just know and have a gut feeling, but I never thought that was real, cause how do you just know? But there were signs that made me think he was. He would have glitter on his face and say his coworker was wearing glitter and got it on him. He always drove to the beach, but I would notice his location would be off and he would say he was at a gas station or something, and anytime I'd confront him about it, he would just lie and say he wasn't cheating and would never cheat, but part of me just did not believe him. My mind is truly blown. He bought me flowers yesterday and took me on a date. I understand that men cheating isn't an emotional thing and it's just sex to him, but what the actual fuck? I think he really thought he was going to get away with it and we were going to celebrate our 10-year anniversary together. So to end this, I am completely heartbroken and am still processing WTF just happened. I have kicked him out and sent him away while I process my emotions. I'm going to pack up all of his things for now and try to get some rest because I'm sick. My long-term goal is to try to relearn myself after the 10 years I've lost to him. How about that one? Let us have your thoughts and advice down in the comments section. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to check out our other videos and, as always, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Never forget that your smile is your best feature. Wear it proudly. See ya.